I do this regularly when I
you should,
when I
too.
need to
Yes.
when I need a cheering
Very
up.
comfortable.
Is I'll go and watch the outtakes of you with Carol Burnett and various others, Dick Van Dyke and some of those, and tears start rolling down my face after a while.
Sorry to hear that. You should get to some sort of medical assistance then.
Yes, I
probably.
should. But those had to be total, just pure fun to do.
It doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't. I mean, to fall into that, first of all, to come out to Hollywood, I knew nothing about that end of show business, about film and all of that, and to fall into the arms of Ernest Borgnine and have him guide me through the first 3 years of McHale's Navy. Very kind guy. I just presented him the Outstanding Screen Actors Guild Award, which he got this year. He's 95 years old. He's been in the business for forever, and he's done 165 movies.
Married to a beautiful wife, Tova.
Yes, Tova, yes. And so to go from that, a couple of my own shows, which went in the toilet and are still there, and then to find Carol, and I used to just guest. The first year, I think I guested on 2 or 3 shows, and then the next year was 5, and then finally she said, "This is stupid. Why don't you just be a regular on the show?" And I said, "Well," because they were doing 33 shows a year, and I said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do 32 shows, and I'll leave 1 week open in case I get something else." During that time.
I think that was a smart move on your part.
Well, actually, I guested during that week on her show. Yes. So I was actually doing 33 shows, yeah.
Well,
but it was the best.
Well, and of course, that launched you in a permanent sense on the American canvas. And, of course, that work that you did, that body of work with Carol, and of course, we'll get to other things after that. But that pretty much is permanent and part of American comedy history.
Well, I certainly hope so. That's an awfully nice way of putting it. I wish I had a TV set. I'd like to see some of those. Are they still on?
I'm afraid they're not, actually.
Oh, they're not.
You'll have to buy the DVD of it now. Now,
that's going to be costly.
6 Emmys, my goodness, that's a lot. Where are you putting those things?
6.5, actually. I did a local Emmy show, and you only get a smaller one, so I have the 6.5.
Oh, I thought maybe the half was for Dorf or something.
I think sometimes the only reason I got Emmys was because of my acceptance speeches, because I never thanked anybody that had anything to do with the business. I never a manager or anything of that nature. The first year I got one, I thanked everybody at the Tarzana Pitch and Putt. They just put in a new Mark Twain hole with the windmill and everything, and I congratulated them on that.
Did you make the ball through the?
Yes, I told them how difficult it was too, and you could buy a big gulp at the restaurant and everything for 74 cents. So I thanked them, and people were just staring at me, going, "What are we doing here?" And then
you seem to have that effect on most people.
Yes, I do, don't I? One year I said, "Thank you very much. I'd like to thank my manager, but he's at the Rams game, and my kids are home watching Superman, and my wife's playing bridge, so I don't have anybody really to thank, but you folks, thanks for coming along." So that's probably why I got most of them, yeah.
Well, now, 50 years is a long time to do.
It, though?
I want to congratulate you on something.
Okay.
And I mean this sincerely from the bottom of my heart.
You're not going to pass away before.
No, I promise I won't pass away. I won't faint. I won't even pass gas, actually, or pass go. How about that?
Either one of those will help.
I think that family fun humor.
Mm-hmm.
When I say that, I mean the G-rated fun that you have, and it is hilariously funny. You're not lacking one iota in the amount or how hard you laugh, or how long you laugh, or if you tear when you laugh, or any of that stuff when you watch your kind of humor. And I love it, and I'm just thrilled that you stayed with what you started with, that got you to the dance, and has taken you all these many years and been very, very successful, and I'm just thrilled.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate that sincerely, because that was really my goal. Don Knotts and I became very good friends, and we used to have long conversations about this, about, the people that we're entertaining come to see us with a certain expectations. You watched Mayberry and Andy Griffith and all that for the expectations of, gee, it is going to be family humor. And Don was so funny.
Oh, yes.
As a matter of fact, I wrote a couple of movies that he and I were in together, and he was a marvelous guy. We always said, we had both, excuse me, I'm sorry.
Wait, was I getting
You've got a terrible growth there. That's it. We would talk, about how much we had, in a sense, not given up, because you don't give up anything by doing that lousy stuff that they're doing, but how much easier it is to go through life with what we had done, and how appreciative an audience was when you got through that. They didn't hear any, language or violence or anything of that. Well, you did at my house, but certainly not on the stage.
Well, at your house is a whole different story. That's
all-
off limits for everybody.
Whacking the kids all around the place.
Kicking the dog.
Yeah, sure.